Hey guys! Okay, long time no see and I'm really sorry about that, but I just kind of wanted to get situated in Japan and kind of get to know the lifestyle before I started making a ton of videos, and I was really busy my first few months here, so really sorry about that. It's been so hot here, guys. It's been in the 90s, and for those of you who don't understand Fahrenheit, it's been in the 30s. But it did rain today, so that was nice. Cooled things down, and now I have my window and my door open and everything. So if you hear a lot of bugs or people walking by, sorry about that as well. So I wanted to make a video because a lot of people have been asking me kind of the same questions over and over again about my video where I talk about applying to a Japanese university. And not that I mind at all answering you guys, because I totally don't mind, but a lot of people message me privately and then not everyone can actually see what I have to say about it. So I thought that if I make a video, then everybody can see. What university do you recommend? Honestly, I can't really recommend any universities because this is really individual. It all depends on what you're looking for, what degree you want to study, and honestly, I don't really know much about any university except for my own. So just research as best you can. Look for the universities, like type in, let's say you want to study, I don't know, let's say you want to study linguistics. Just search in linguistic degrees taught in Japan, see what you can come up with. What school do you go to? I don't actually really want to say what school that I go to just because, safety reasons. I was advised that that's probably not a good idea, so sorry. Do you have to know Japanese? No. There are programs taught in English. Do you take courses taught in Japanese? Also no. What kind of financial aid is available? Well, there are scholarships available like the JASO, but these are highly competitive, and so I definitely recommend that you have a plan B and don't rely on this. For my university, a lot of students do tend to get it their first year, but a lot of students never get it again after that. For some countries, you can take out loans from your home country. As far as America goes, that depends entirely on which university you go to. As far as I know, my university right now, you actually can't, but I think that they're working with America right now to make it so that you can. But I don't have a lot of information on that, so you'll have to talk to the student affairs or whatever to find that out. How much does it cost? That's going to vary depending on which school you go to, of course. But for me, it's about 2,500 USD a semester, so about 5,000 a year. But you can get a tuition fee waiver so that you can have the price reduced or even completely gone. But again, don't rely on this because you don't know if you're actually going to get it or not. How much are your living expenses? This is going to also vary depending on where you live and whether you live in a dorm or an apartment. I personally live kind of close to Tokyo, so if you live in Tokyo, it's going to be a bit more. If you live further from Tokyo, it'll probably be cheaper. I also live in a dorm, so I get really subsidized prices. I would say that I survive on about 600 to 700 USD a month, but if I'm absolutely frugal and I never eat out, I could live on probably 500. My rent is only about $135 a month. I have a friend who lives in a 4-bedroom apartment with his friend, and that costs them about 600. And I have another friend that lives in a 2-bedroom apartment by himself, and that is $400 a month. I have really bad grades. Does that mean I can never study in Japan? Absolutely not. You can study in Japan even if you have really bad grades. I would say that if you have anywhere from a 3.0 and above, you shouldn't have too much trouble getting into a Japanese university. I've even heard of someone at my university who got in with a 2.7. But if you're really concerned about it, then you can go to a community college for a year or two and bring up your grades. But it really is all in your personal statement and your interview. So if you interview really well, you have a really nice personal statement, and you show that you're committed and really passionate about what you want to study, then I think you have a really good chance of getting in. Can I attend university directly after high school? Or can I attend it even if I've gone to university already? Yes, both accounts. You can attend a Japanese university as long as you have your high school diploma. It doesn't matter if you've already gone to college, if you've done some, if you've graduated. I have a friend who actually graduated from university and he still got in. He just actually used it to his advantage and said that he wanted to kind of mix in what he already knew with what he wants to study, and I think that worked out really well for him. Is it hard to get a job? If you know Japanese, no. If you don't know Japanese, it might be a little bit difficult, especially if you live in an area with a lot of other foreigners who are also trying to, say, teach English. If you live in Tokyo, you might have an easier time, or if you live somewhere where you can commute to Tokyo, but it's not impossible. You might not get as many hours as you want, but it's possible. I would recommend having your parents or some other backup plan just in case if you do hit some trouble finding a job, just as like a backup. But other than that, you should be able to. Is Japanese university hard? It all depends on the professor. Just like anywhere else in the world, sometimes you get hard professors and sometimes you get easy professors. But with the Japanese teaching style, it's kind of like they talk at you, but they don't actually look for input from the students. So I think for some people that can be kind of a struggle, especially because you don't get a lot of practice with the material. So if you need a lot of hands-on guidance, it might be difficult for you. But other than that, I think as long as you put in effort, you should at least pass the class. I know I had a few classes where I thought I was gonna fail because I did horribly and it was really hard, but I still got a C, which is passing, and if you are not thirsty for a scholarship, then it's not a huge deal. So, yeah. Japanese professors care about attendance. Again, it all depends on the professor. Generally, there's a rule which I think is common to most universities. I remember I had the same rule in America, but you can have 3 unexcused absences before they would fail you or whatever. Some teachers don't even take attendance and others are pretty strict on it. I know that for one of my professors, even if you missed like 2 days, you could not get an A+. I think I missed 1 or 2 days and I only was able to get an A. He straight up told me, you can't get an A+ now. So some are pretty strict, but a lot also don't really care. Are Japanese professors strict about being on time? This again depends on the professor, but generally not really. If you come in late every single day, like super late, then they might get irritated. But my experience has been that they don't care too much as long as you're not ridiculously late. Do you enjoy it and would you recommend it to other people? Absolutely yes. I enjoy it a lot and I think it's an experience that I will never forget in my lifetime for sure, and I'm really happy that I had the opportunity to study abroad and in Japan. Would I recommend it to other people? I would recommend it to people who do their research, are willing to work, and don't want to just look at this as like an extended 4-year vacation. I think that this is a very rewarding experience. I think that for a lot of people, being able to experience another culture really opens their minds and allows them to see things differently for the first time in their life. You're going to have a lot to write home about, probably more than any of your other friends who go to school in their own countries. And you're probably really going to enjoy your time here. But then again, there are people who couldn't really handle the change. They couldn't adjust. So make sure that you know a lot about Japan. Come visit first and yeah, have fun. Alright, that's it guys. I'm gonna start trying to make videos regularly. I have a ton of ideas. I want to make some videos about surviving in Japan, things that were kind of surprising to me, maybe little cultural shock things I guess you would call them. And I want to make a video, like a series about eating cheap in Japan for people who can't cook like me, because when I came here I was looking for a lot of videos that would be good for people who could not cook, being a student in Japan, and I couldn't find any. So I think I want to make that myself, and hopefully it'll help other people who can't cook. So look forward to that stuff guys. Alright, see ya! Remember, dream big, be positive. Bye guys!